What if the spare change sitting in your pocket right now held a hidden treasure? Imagine pulling out an ordinary 1993 Washington quarter, something you've seen 1,000 times, only to realize it's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That it sounds unbelievable, but it's true. Some of the 1993 quarters minted by the U.S. Mint hide rare errors, exceptional conditions, and varieties that collectors will pay big money for. And the most exciting part? Many of these valuable coins are still out there, circulating quietly in pockets, cash registers, and coin jars, just waiting to be found. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1993 Washington quarter dollar coin, how it came to be, what makes it unique, and which versions are worth far more than face value. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in American history. It first appeared in 1932, designed by sculptor John Flanagan to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design featured Washington's portrait on the front and a majestic eagle on the back, a look that lasted for decades. To be why 1993, the quarter had already gone through several important changes. The metal composition had shifted in 1965 from 90% silver to a copper-nickel-clad alloy, a mix designed to reduce costs and save silver for industrial and investment purposes. But even without silver, these later quarters can still carry incredible value for one simple reason: minting errors and rarity in condition. Let's start with the basics. In 1993, quarters were minted at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell where your coin was made by checking the small mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. A P stands for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. Philadelphia produced over 639 million quarters that year, Denver over 626 million, and San Francisco around 3.3 million proof coins made specifically for collectors. At first glance, that sounds like a lot, and it is. But as every collector knows, high mintage doesn't mean low value. What matters is condition, strike quality, and whether your coin has any unique minting errors or varieties. Let's explore the rare types and errors that can make your 1993 quarter worth serious money. Point: one of the most valuable and visually striking errors found on 1993 quarters is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank, called a planchet, isn't properly centered between the dies when struck. Depending on how far off the strike is, these errors can range in value from $50 for minor misalignments to well over $500 or more for extreme off-centers, especially if the date, 1993, remains fully visible. Another desirable minting error is the double die, particularly on the obverse or front of the coin. This type of error occurs when the die itself shifts slightly during the creation process, leaving a faint but noticeable doubling in certain areas of the design. On the 1993 quarter, doubling can appear on Washington's eye, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." A strong double die can sell from $100 to over $1,000, depending on clarity and condition. Then there's the clipped planchet error, where a small curved section of metal is missing from the edge of the coin, almost as if someone took a small bite out of it. These coins are usually worth between $30 and $150, but a clean, dramatic clip with a visible mint mark and date can sell even higher. One particularly interesting error found on some 1993 quarters is the struck-through grease error. This occurs when the minting die gets clogged with grease or debris, resulting in missing details on the coin. Some examples show faded lettering or missing parts of Washington's hair or face. Because they look so unusual, collectors love them, and they can be worth anywhere from $25 to $200. You might also come across a broad strike error, where the collar that normally shapes the coin's rim fails, allowing the coin to expand slightly during striking. This gives the quarter a wider, flatter appearance, and such pieces can fetch $50 to $300, depending on grade and completeness. And of course, there are die cracks and cuts, small raised lines or blobs of metal caused by aging dies. The larger and more dramatic these breaks are, the higher the value, some reaching $100 or more for unique examples. Now, not every valuable 1993 quarter is an error coin. Some are worth serious money simply because they're in exceptional condition, coins that survived without ever entering circulation. Grading plays a huge role here. Most quarters we use every day are considered circulated, meaning they have scratches, wear, and fading. But a coin graded mint state, MS, by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can bring astonishing prices. For example, a 1993 P. Washington quarter graded MS, 67 by PCGS, has sold for up to $500. A 1993 D in the same high grade has reached $650 or more at auction. These prices climb dramatically for coins graded MS, 68, which are nearly flawless, some selling for over $2,000. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, are another story. These coins were specially made for collectors, struck multiple times with polished dies to create mirror-like surfaces. Most proofs sell for $5 to $15. But perfect PR, 70 deep cameo examples graded by PCGS or NGC can bring $100 or more. So, what makes these coins so valuable to collectors? It's all about rarity and perfection. The 1993 quarter marks one of the final years before the state quarters program transformed U.S. coin collecting. For many enthusiasts, these early 1990s issues represent the end of the classic Washington quarter design that had endured since 1932. As time passes, high-grade examples of these coins, untouched, uncirculated, and well-preserved, are becoming increasingly difficult to find. But beyond condition and errors, there's something else that gives the 1993 quarter a special charm: its connection to a simpler era of American coinage. Think about it. 1993 wasn't that long ago, yet the world was completely different. The average gas price was about $1. You could get a candy bar for a quarter. And many of the quarters minted that year are still circulating today, nearly 30 years later. Each coin tells a small piece of history, a reflection of the time it was minted, the technology used, and the countless hands it passed through. And for collectors, that story adds value beyond any number in a price guide. Now, if you're searching for a valuable 1993 quarter, here's what to do. First, look through your change and old coin jars. Many people overlook coins from the 1990s, assuming they're too modern to be worth anything. But those are exactly the coins that can surprise you. Second, check rolls of quarters from the bank, a hobby known as coin roll hunting. You'll be amazed how often older coins appear among new ones. Third, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for errors like doubling, die cracks, or clipped edges. Even a small imperfection can add significant value. And finally, if you believe you've found something special, don't clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage a coin's surface and destroy its collectible value. Instead, store it safely and, if it looks promising, send it to a professional grading service. A certified grade can increase a coin's resale value several times over. Let's look at a few real examples of what collectors have paid a 1993 D. Washington quarter graded MS, 68 by PCGS sold for $2,115. A 1993 P. in MS, 67 plus condition brought $495. And a 1993 S-Proof PR, 70. Deep cameo sold for $210. While these prices can vary depending on market trends, one thing remains certain. The 1993 quarter has proven to be far more than spare change. It's a reminder that treasure doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket, disguised as an ordinary coin. The Washington Quarter series continues to captivate collectors worldwide, not just because of its design, but because it represents nearly a century of American history in metal form. And the 1993 quarter sits at a fascinating point in that timeline. A modern coin with old soul charm. So next time you find a 1993 quarter, don't rush to spend it. Examine it carefully. Look for those subtle details, a die crack, a doubling, a misalignment, or even just an exceptional shine, because you never know. That one coin could be a rare survivor worth far more than 25 cents. And that's what makes coin collecting such an incredible journey. It's not just about money. It's about curiosity, discovery, and connecting with the past through something as simple as a coin. If you enjoyed learning about the 1993 Washington quarter dollar and want to discover more hidden treasures like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to World of Coins, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss our next story. because every coin has a story to tell, and the next one might just change your life.